Hello and welcome everyone. In today's video, we will learn about democracy in India, how it works, what is election, what are the parties, how they fight for elections. Now, before starting the video, if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe the channel to get notification of further videos. Now let us start the lecture. In this video, we will learn about the elections. But before knowing about the elections, we must be knowing what election is. It is a procedure of organizing votings. We know that people vote in democracy and India is a democracy. By voting the people, we elect the ruler or the new government. But how all this happens? The process by which when people go and vote. This is called as election, and organizing all these things, that having ballots or the machines on the places where people go and they will cast their vote. This process is called as election. So the procedure to organize the voting by the public for forming the government is called as election. Now these elections are of two types: general election and election in Rajya Sabha. Now we will learn about these further. Basically, elections in which we vote are only the general elections, and these general elections are for the parliaments, means they are for MPs, member of parliaments. They are of two types. First one is assembly election, they occurs at state level, and panchayat elections, they occur at panchayat levels. So in state elections or assembly election, we elect the CMs or chief ministers. In panchayat election, we elect the panch or sarpanch for rural areas. Now we know that election happens and then people are elected and they rule over the country for a certain period of time, and that time is called as term. And in India, this term is 5 years, means once election held, the government will remain in the power for next 5 years. But there are sometimes few complication happens, because we all know this is a big country, and in big countries like India, it is not always possible to sustain the government for 5 years. In that cases, we have a person who got elected, it can get 5 years and they can complete their 5 years. But in second condition, we elect a person but they cannot take the government or cannot rule over the region for 5 years. In that situation, mid-term election happens, means they will immediately get new elections. But in certain situations, there are specific reservation or the nomination for the people for specific area. So this area will be elected under by-elections, means just after election there will be the elections for specific places. Let us see further how the elections are conducted. Elections are conducted by Election Commission. It is the solitary body और statutory body जो कि election conduct कराती है, means it is not under anyone and they are not influenced or interfered by the government. Their functioning is completely free from the government. The functioning of election can be conducted by the Election Commission, and their functions are as follows. Election Commission is responsible for announcing the schedule, means when the election will happen. They gives the nomination to the people, means those who want to participate in elections, they will give them the form, that fill this form and then you will be a part of election. Coming further, they spells out the date for withdrawal of candidates, means if anyone who has filled the nomination but they don't want to contest anymore, they will give them withdrawal form. People who wish to contest the election file their nomination and deposit the security amount. If they are failed to secure 1/6 amount of total number of votes, they will be fortified. Means Election Commission ensures that someone who is contesting in the election is worthy of it. They will provide security that we will not leave our nomination in between. And if they have done so, they will be punished for that. Elections are allotted to the candidates depending on their political affiliation and independent status. We have heard that someone is from a specific party, so the Election Commission will provide their party affiliation approval, and if they are not fighting from any party, they will be given the status of independent body. Candidate carry out public campaign, convey to the people that we are fighting the election. So in this scenario, when people are conveying or campaigning for themselves, Election Commission is responsible to oversee that they are not using unfair means, that they are not paying to the people that take the money and vote for us, or we will do the favor to you, go to the poll and vote for us, or we will give you power, or any unfair mean or any corruption they are not using in the election. It ensures that the list of voters is prepared at that time. Means those people who are voting, they are called as voters. So the list is prepared on time so that they came to know that when they have to vote and where they are going to vote. Election Commission organize the polling booths where people will go and cast their vote, and the staff and security to that location. Means no one is doing any unfair means at the time of voting. All those things are ensured by Election Commission. Coming to the further slide, Election Commission ensure that the ballot paper and voting machine are functional and available at booths. Means all the material which are required for election is over there. It is also responsible to ensure that the voting held smoothly. Means no fight during the vote had happened, or no one is forced to elect a specific person. After election, Election Commission ensures that the ballot box and machines are at a safe place. Means they are reached to the counter where they are going to be counted. Coming further, votes are counted in the presence of all those parties who are fighting election, and this all is looked after by the Election Commission. Successfully elected candidate is now elected as the representative or MLA or the MP of that region. Now we all know that we means people are casting the vote. So what rights they have? They have right to secrecy. Means they don't need to tell anyone or any person that to whom they have voted. No one is allowed to see when a person is casting his or her vote. And even the voting machine, they never ask that who is voting for whom. This is called as secret ballot. Now coming to the candidates who is there in the election, who is competing in the election.